fine, I'll go it alone. Just like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
It's so funny, too, that you keep calling me Meghan. You know, it's Meghan now.
I feel like the focus is starting to shift off of me. Maybe in editing you'll fix it.
People were saying meh. It's not meh. It's pronounced me. The H is silent.
See, I didn't know who H was. At the time, I just loved his Insta feed.
Prince Harry thought the worst was behind him, but with South Park reportedly gearing up for a new episode that targets Meghan's infamous pregnancy video, insiders say he is visibly shaken and preparing for another wave of humiliation. Living in Toronto, Harry was initially unfamiliar with the concept of royalty, aside from pop culture references.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
Trying to make ourselves into a brand just turned us into products. We don't need to be a brand, do we?
This might be the smallest palace I've ever been in.
An apartment. I thought we were moving forward, Meghan.
Well, we're not.
Dad, do you have any cash for a cab? Oh, look. Grandma's on the money. I never noticed that before.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
The first South Park skit, which lampooned the Duke and Duchess of Sussex during their worldwide privacy tour, ignited a firestorm of outrage and laughter, capturing headlines around the globe. However, if Harry hoped that the cartoon chaos was a one-time punchline, he may be in for another shock. Rumors are swirling that creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone are planning a ruthless follow-up that will skewer Meghan's controversial social media antics.
I was living in the middle of nowhere in Toronto, Canada, and I didn't even really know the word royal. I mean, besides the Lord song. I love that song. It's an amazing pop rock ballad.
Sources close to Harry indicate that he is spiraling, feeling the pressure to find new employment and audition again, despite Meghan's previous success on the show Suits, which was more popular in the US than even Friends. The couple's current predicament is likened to a scenario where a royal would abandon their duties to marry an actress, raising questions about their choices and public image. Inside Montecito, the atmosphere has reportedly shifted to crisis mode.
We have to get jobs. I have to start auditioning again.
You were on the very famous show Suits. More popular in the States than even Friends, you told us.
Yeah.
Build electric cars, he's going to Mars. Why isn't he even involving himself with Twitter? It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
Staff meetings now revolve around monitoring leak sites for storyboard snippets and drafting contingency statements that condemn misogynistic humor without appearing overly sensitive. Each draft becomes a tug of war. If it's too harsh, critics will claim the Sussexes can't take a joke, while if it's too mild, supporters will accuse them of ignoring a sexist smear. Those close to Harry describe the mood as a cocktail of dread and déjà vu, with one confidant revealing that he has been rewatching the original episode to gauge how much harder the new jab could land.
And something that you taught me is that when we break something and it's broken, it's not broken. It can be healed. There's even more beauty in the break. It still has value.
I'm so sorry, Meghan. You have a phone call. It's your father, Thomas Markle.
Especially since it targets Meghan's carefully curated empowerment brand. Harry is said to be running scenarios with attorneys in both Los Angeles and London, privately acknowledging that parody protections leave little room to block the broadcast. He is even contemplating whether a preemptive complaint might soften the blow. Meanwhile, the normally serene timetable of Montecito has flipped into crisis mode, with early morning Zoom calls focused on monitoring leaks and preparing statements.
Prince Harry, though, has become the punchline of a Saturday Night Live joke. Let's have a look.
NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits, which will be set in Los Angeles. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
As the couple grapples with the impending satire, Harry's unease is compounded by whispers from royal courtiers, who are reportedly amused by the couple's struggles. A palace source hints that another cartoon drubbing might validate their long-held belief that the Sussexes cannot outrun satire. For Harry, who has been inching toward a fragile thaw with his father, seeing the royal family chuckle from the sidelines is the sting he fears most. The situation escalates when NBC announces plans for a spin-off of Suits.
Back by changing our brand. All right, and I do see you're in our database, but you didn't first get help at this Cumhammer location? No, my wife went to one in California as a child. Ah, okay, then you must be in the national system. Oh yeah, is this you? Sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim. Yeah, that's totally me. Okay, I see. And then you added your husband to your friends and family account. You must be the Royal Prince Millionaire World Traveler victim. That's right.
Focusing on Meghan's character's struggle to balance her legal career with caring for an unemployed immigrant. This news adds to the tension inside Montecito, which feels unlike any previous crisis. Staffers report a low-grade buzz that starts before dawn and stretches long after sunset, with Harry visibly shaken. One household staffer claims that this parody threatens to resurrect the ridicule he thought had finally ebbed. According to sources, Harry now sleeps with his phone on vibrate, jolting awake at odd hours to check encrypted group chats for leaks about South Park's upcoming special.
You know, why jam, Tom? Why jam? Why jam, you know? Does she want to be, seen as a traditional wife now rather than a grand humanitarian politico? Tom,
I mean, if she does, I mean, good on her. I can't.
I'm half winding you up now. You must know that. You must know that.
He reportedly jumped out of bed at 3 a.m. after a friend texted him a blurry storyboard panel featuring a red-haired prince fussing with a lighting rig while Meghan carts a rubber baby bump across a hospital set. His response was a single text, "This can't be real." He then made 2 calls to London before dawn, seeking reassurance from veteran PR professionals who have weathered decades of royal lampooning. However, the advice he received only deepened his anxiety, as one seasoned aide reminded him that royals cannot sue over satire without appearing petty.
When was the last time you twerked, Alex?
I don't think I've ever twerked in my life.
You must have.
Really? I genuinely mean that. If there's any footage that ever comes out of me twerking, I'll pay for all your pints one night. How about that?
Meghan, she's an American celebrity, so I can kind of forgive her for it.
It's definitely her idea.
She's like, Prince Harry is a prince of the realm. You imagine the centuries of history and tradition in this country, the respectful organisations that he was or is an ambassador of, the military, and you're behaving like that and happy to release it in public. I mean, it's just so demeaning.
Yeah, she's a narcissist and he's quite thick.
And previous attempts to muzzle parody have only increased viewership. As the crisis unfolds, Harry's team is faced with the challenge of crafting a response that doesn't exacerbate the situation. They are aware that silence could be interpreted as guilt, while a strong reaction might fuel the hype. Aides have erected what one calls a digital moat, limiting Harry's time on social media to prevent him from spiraling over each new hashtag or meme.
But you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you don't gotta do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
Despite these precautions, he is said to sneak glances at trending pages on a spare iPad, with each fresh joke landing like a jab. The upcoming South Park segment, tentatively titled Respect Our Pregnancy, is expected to mock Meghan's viral pregnancy twerk reel, which offers everything the show loves in a target, a dizzying mix of sincerity, spectacle, and social media grandstanding. According to someone who has seen an early draft, the segment opens on a quasi-Netflix set where a fictional Meghan rehearses dance moves while production assistants adjust ring lights.
By the way, I love your Luke.
Sorry, what's that?
Your Luke. You look amazing. Your Luke.
My Luke. My Luke. My look. She likes my Luke.
The animated Harry hovers off camera, anxiously suggesting more empowerment between takes. In classic South Park fashion, the creators are not just mocking a video, they are skewering the couple's entire aesthetic of curated authenticity, transforming what Meghan pitched as a spontaneous celebration of motherhood into a meticulously choreographed stunt. Insiders reveal that the writer's room refers to Meghan's cartoon pregnancy bump as the pillow of truth.
But to the world, it's just, what has she been doing? Does she work? As opposed to, oh my gosh, I work so hard.
Cue the laugh. With each jiggle accompanied by a flashing subtitle that hammers home the idea that nothing in their public life is left to chance. One storyboard square even shows Cartman Kennedy, the satirical studio boss, shouting, "Cue the tears, we need vulnerable sparkle," while bribing cameramen with oat milk lattes. The creators are relentless, exaggerating behind-the-scenes clips that Meghan never wanted the public to see, reimagined with the subtlety of a sledgehammer. For Harry, this specificity is a nightmare. Satire hits hardest when it mirrors whispers he is already trying to quiet. He has spent months brushing off claims that the twerk video was carefully lit, arguing it was simply two expectant parents capturing joy on a phone. South Park plans to dismantle that defense by showcasing lighting grids, call sheets, and even a fake intimacy coordinator measuring how far the bump can bounce before optics feel exploitative.
These two are now an international embarrassment for the royal family, and I really, really do think that the time has come to strip the titles.
Harry fears that once viewers laugh at the idea that the pregnancy dance was staged, they may start re-examining every candid Sussex moment, from Netflix doc scenes to anecdotes about morning chaos. As the episode's air date approaches, the Montecito briefing room, usually reserved for tidy Zoom check-ins, has transformed into what one aide calls a daytime war bunker. Screens flash with social listening dashboards, South Park subreddit feeds, and a rolling document titled Potential Response Paths version 17. The team is acutely aware that every punchline threatens multiple revenue streams, not just personal pride.
You've lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, When?
My name is Meghan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy.
Yes, that's right, friend. You see, my wife and I are totally like, you should write a book because your family's like stupid, and then so are like journalists.
In brainstorming sessions, two potential pathways for redemption emerge. The first option is to lean into humility, allowing the episode to air, and then releasing a brief, lightly self-deprecating video of Harry and Meghan laughing on a beach, pivoting to discussions about their charitable work. This approach aims to show relatability and diffuse the satire, potentially winning back corporate partners who may applaud their resilience. The second option is to transform ridicule into purpose. After waiting 48 hours, they could launch a campaign spotlighting online harassment of new parents, framing the parody as a teachable moment on empathy. This strategy would invite child health organizations to co-sign and donate ad revenue from the pregnancy video to maternal care charities, flipping laughter into legacy.
So you hate journalists? That's right. And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family. Right. So you're a journalist.
Any type of flower arranging is just telling a story. What story do you want to tell? Maybe leave the country. Maybe disown your dad. Be creative with it.
However, there is a risk that audiences might perceive this as opportunism, leading to accusations of mocktivism that could trend harder than the original memes. As the clock ticks down to the episode's release, Harry faces a dilemma. Confront the mockery with humor or risk being seen as unable to take a joke. The stakes are high, as the outcome could redefine their narrative, leaving Harry to navigate the fallout in a world where every punchline threatens their carefully crafted image. With the stage set for a showdown between free speech satire and reputation management, viewers will soon decide whether this episode is merely another laugh in the pop culture churn, or the moment Harry and Meghan's carefully tended narrative tilts into permanent caricature. As the laughter dies down, sponsors will run the numbers, palace courtiers will update their talking points, and Harry will have to wake up to whatever version of himself the internet decides is canon. The question now looms: should Harry meet the mockery head-on with a dose of self-deprecating humility, Or would any reaction just pour jet fuel on South Park's fire? Beyond the Sussex saga, where do we draw the line between fair parody and punching down, especially when parenthood enters the frame? The public awaits the answers, and the implications of this cultural moment will resonate far beyond the screen.